The sky tonight wasn't supposed to bleed. It was supposed to be a peaceful dinner with a party that everyone was meeting, a setup that was going to benefit both. No weapon or guards were allowed, just the honors and a nice meal over a business talk until it went down. Wine was smart, clever, a kind of woman who grew up among monsters, trained under demons, and learned to rule by a tyrant. She was no sunshine or rainbow, even if her evil heart might fake those angelic expressions sometimes to lure in the enemies. A peaceful night had gone wrong 45 minutes into the meeting, and the once clean and elegant venue was now filled with shattered windows, broken furniture, blood, and a weapon in the hands of wine which dripped crimson blood, drop by drop. A weapon, a violation of rules. She stood there breathing heavily, a maniac smirk on her lips regardless of the deep wound on her arm, which was bleeding, droplets of blood covering one side of her face, and a glass dug in her thighs. Drake, a weapon as expected. I wouldn't have believed it otherwise, so are your minions around too, Lady Wyan? He asked, deeply wounded himself. His coat was torn, blue color now replaced by deep red. Wine might have sneaked in a weapon, but no. She didn't have any guards on her. It was all her and her skills now if she had to survive tonight. The venue was selected by Drake. Soon enough, his guards broke in. It was all bloodshed, screams and bullets piercing through the air, while all Wine had was a dagger which saved her through the night. Wine believed her master. It is not about the kind of tool you hold in your hand, it's about skills. Right after another 45 minutes, she reached the premises of her mansion, a fortress looming tall in the darkness of the night. She had more wounds now, nastier than before. She entered with the steps of a ninja, unable to be detected, and the first thing her youngest guard received was a slap to his head. Wine, I told you to quit smoking. Vic immediately dropped a cigarette, then stepped on it. But once he turned, he found the real state she was in. The rest of them rushed in. Vic, that's what you get for going alone, regardless of how many times I warned you against it. He removed his coat and immediately pressed it against her ribs from where she was severely bleeding. Why? She should have seen them. Vic scoffed. She still had the energy to brag. Move, they heard. The playful atmosphere immediately turned to ash, a voice heavy and thick in the silence of the night. The guards immediately made way as Jungkook, Wine's husband, who was also a doctor, walked past them towards his wife. He was wearing a robe, glasses perched up his nose and his eyes dead angry. He said no word as he reached her, got her in his arms and took her inside. The guards disappeared like shadows vanishing at dawn. No words, no breath. They'd seen this scene play out too many times. Even if every time it was suffocating, Jungkook sometimes looked scarier than their boss, a man who was once scared of wine. Jungkook didn't go to the medical room. Instead, he walked straight to the bedroom. The bedroom was dim, only the soft amber light of a table lamp lit the space. The bed sheets were already dark in color. He set her down. Jungkook, don't move, he murmured, already peeling off his robe. The man underneath wasn't soft, not like they expected from a doctor. His back was all lean and muscles and tension, veins twitching as he pulled on his gloves. One leaned back on her elbows, blood running slowly from her arm down to her breast and staining the comforter. Her expressions weren't one of pain. Why, look off when you're mad. He stayed quiet. This was the only time when wine could play with the fire. Because as long as she's bleeding, he wouldn't say a word to her, regardless of how his veins were popping out of anger and worry. She smirked, head lolling to the side as she watched him open the medical kit like he had done it 100 times before. He had. He had the calm of an experienced doctor. The man could have stitched her up in the dark with a cigarette in her mouth and a glass of whiskey in his hand. Jungkook, I should have gone alone. This better not repeat again. Wine, yes sir. She grinned. Handling knives wasn't the only thing she was good at. She knew how to take care of his anger and moods as well. His fingers worked fast, wiping, disinfecting, stitching with an ease that didn't match the mess in front of him. Once Jungkook was done, his fingers softly brushed against her hair, stuck to her forehead before it slid down and wrapped around her neck. Jungkook, you come back to me alive. No matter in how many pieces, I'll stitch you back up. So, you always come back to me alive. Do you hear that? She stilled, swallowed, and then nodded. She grabbed his necklace, which tangled down his neck, pulled him down, and kissed him. He took over, rough, deep, passionate, until it soothed his insides and calmed his worry. When he pulled back, he could finally breathe. Wine. Sometimes I miss the old you, who was scared of me. She teased. Jungkook surely was scared of her. He was a doctor. He had seen patients at their worst, with broken body parts and torn organs. Yet the kind of wounds he returned with required a heart nobody had. War wasn't something everybody could survive. That wasn't all. The way she ruled and held the empire under her feet was so powerful Jungkook felt like it would swallow him alive one day. It took him time to adjust, but now that he did, the guards were more scared of him than her. Because she, Wine, the both could handle broken bones and stabbing wounds, but she would melt under a single stare of Jungkook. They wouldn't dare mess with such a person so important. Jungkook wiped her clean, replaced the sheets, and brought her warm chocolate milk. Besides healing her, he was good at spoiling her too. So when he took her in his embrace and she winced like a little child she was only in front of him, he smiled. That was all he needed in life. Her in his arms, breathing, alive, in one piece. That was truly all he needed in life to survive. Jungkook, I'm not angry. So get out of there before I step out. They heard a third. The guards who stood outside with their ear against the door was running away, but not without leaving their signs. One, dogs. One bigger than the other. Jungkook, they still care about you, so keep them with you every second of the day. Wine hummed as she snuggled in his warm embrace and closed her eyes, taking a rest from the duties which awaited her tomorrow.